If you want bigger shoulders with calisthenics, but you don't want to do handstands or you can't do handstands, you clicked on the right video. I've been training calisthenics for 7 years now, and I built my shoulders with simple, high stimulus exercises that actually focus on growing my shoulders. And these exercises, anybody can do and easily get into. So today I'm going to be showing you exact exercises that I use, reps and sets, and how I actually grow my shoulders with calisthenics without doing any handstand work. In my opinion, just learning the handstands for shoulder growth is actually not really the answer. Now, if you can do handstand push-ups already, and you're actually quite good at them, and you can actually do handstand push-ups for multiple repetitions, 6 to 8 with good and controlled form, go ahead and put them in. I think they're great for your shoulders if you actually do that consistently. But for most people, unfortunately, we cannot do those exercises for a lot of repetitions, obviously. And even well-supported can be very tough. But I've been able to grow my shoulders and make significant amount of progress. And I honestly think that the exercises that I'm going to be showing you in today's video are going to be more effective to build muscle in your shoulders than anything that you've ever heard on YouTube. So if you want the full blueprint, the full step-by-step plan on how I built my entire physique, and obviously along with your shoulders, then click the top link in the description, join my program Jacked by Calisthenics. This is my personal blueprint and community where dozens of members are right now working extremely hard on building their dream physique, and they're actually achieving great results. If you want to be sending me messages like the ones that you see here on the screen, then go ahead and click the top link in the description. I'll see you inside and we're going to get started right away. The shoulder growth problem no one talks about. Most calisthenics athletes who get into calisthenics and they want to grow their shoulders with it, they automatically focus on isometric shoulder work. And I don't understand why. They will start to do shoulder taps and handstand holds and handstand negatives without actually focusing on the basic muscle building principles, sets, and reps. If you start focusing on just isometric holds for your shoulders, or just focusing on building your shoulders with some shoulder taps or some explosive push-up stuff, you might assume that your shoulders are going to grow from it because you're doing something different and more specific for your shoulders compared to dips or push-ups, but they're not actually going to grow your shoulders like you want them to grow. If you think about what builds the muscle, why are you not doing shoulder taps for your chest? Why are you not doing dip holds in a top position for your chest? Because you know that it's not going to be enough to grow the muscle. Why would it be enough to grow it for the shoulders? That is exactly why we're going to get into the most important exercises that I have done and that you need to do in order to build more round looking shoulders so that you can actually look aesthetic in t-shirts and shirtless. First off, we have pike push-ups. The pike push-up is an exercise that basically mimics the overhead press in weightlifting, but now we bring it to the calisthenics world and we do the exact same thing. But now we're focusing on pushing our entire body weight up off of just our shoulders. The beautiful thing about this exercise is that we can literally mimic everything from the weightlifting world and bring it to this calisthenics movement right here. I see a lot of people doing pike push-ups as like a little finisher after they've done their main push-up and dip variations. But if you want to grow your shoulders, are you gonna expect to grow your shoulders from just 2 sets of pike push-ups, not even done to failure, basically 3 slow controlled reps and that's it? Of course not. What we want to do is prioritize the exercise and actually progress with it each and every single week. Now, how did I do that? What I started to do is focus on 6 sets of pike push-ups in an entire workout. So whenever I did my upper body training or my push training, whatever I did back in the day, I focused on 6 sets in total of shoulder pike push-ups, and that was it. And the reason why I did those 6 sets is because I had 3 perfect sets to focus on the normal pike push-up where I was focusing on strength, and I had 3 sets where I was focusing on the deeper range of motion that I needed to apply to it. So we have the normal pike push-up that I did for 3 sets and the deficit pike push-up. Now the deficit pike push-up is something that you want to add in to grow your shoulders because it is basically the normal variation of a shoulder press. When you think about doing a weightlifting shoulder press, a barbell press or dumbbell shoulder press, do you think about doing that exercise till right here? Or do you think about doing that exercise till right here until the shoulders are fully stretched out and then you press all the way back up? I'm assuming that you do shoulder press till right here and then you go back up instead of doing this. Nobody does that shit. So we want to mimic the exact same thing with pike push-ups. And that is exactly why we add in the deficit pike push-up. So focus on that exercise for about 2 to 3 sets and then focus as well on the normal, on the short range of motion pike push-up so that you can gain strength in that exercise as well. Because for most people, the full deficit pike push-up is going going to be too difficult to stick on and to focus on compared to the normal pike push-up. So we want to treat this exercise like it's literally a bodybuilding exercise. So focus as much as you can on the intensity of it. So take a set and take it to failure. Don't treat this as like a little exercise or like, oh, I'm now training my shoulders. Let me just pump out a bunch, put some blood into it. No, focus on quality reps, good form, actually keeping your body straight and aligned during the entire movement, pushing up in a straight line instead of turning it into a decline push-up, and also progressing with it. So make sure that you're not just treating this as like a little finisher of like, oh, I want to grow my shoulders. Nah, treat it like a real exercise that you're now going to progress with. This is your priority. Inside of the Jacked by Calisthenics blueprint, I exactly show you how to apply progressive overload to this exercise and every single muscle to be able to go from skinny to jacked within about 6 months time. So if you want to be doing that yourself, go to the top link in the description. I'll see you inside and we're going to make all the progress in the world. Now let's talk about shoulder isolation, something that calisthenics athletes and just people in general who train do not speak about often enough. We can isolate our shoulders in calisthenics, especially if we use rings. Ring training is so damn effective for our shoulders. If we focus on ring training and focus on certain exercises that basically almost mimic weightlifting exercises, you can imagine that we're gonna grow shoulders quite quickly. So we have the upright row, the ring upright row, and we have the rear delt row. So these are basically 2 row variations, but it's done in a slight different way that we can use to grow our rear delts and to grow our lateral delts. When it comes to the upright row, we want to be doing this exercise like it's a face pull with an external rotation at the end of it. Most people always think that face pulls are good for your rear delts, which they targeted a little bit, but face pulls are actually better for the lateral delt because there's an external rotation added to it, which targets, as we can see, that lateral delt. We actually don't really focus on the rear delt when we do an external rotation like that. That's why we have the second exercise, which is going to be rear delt rows, where we row towards our shoulders or a little bit towards our chin, and that's going to be actually targeting that rear delt. And you can exactly see what I mean by this. When we take a look at the normal rear delt row, you can see that the rear delt is targeted more, and when we do the upright row, so basically the face pull with the external rotation, we can actually see that the lateral delt is worked more in this case. And again, the focus should be on building muscle with the exercise. So what should we do? Focus on the intensity of it. So taking about 2 sets per exercise, maximum of 3, depending on how much shoulder exercises you already have in your routine, and focus as much as you can on intensity throughout the entire set instead of how many reps you do. This is not a pump up exercise. Focus on going up fast, squeezing that muscle, and then releasing it slowly, and then doing the exact same thing all over again until you hit failure. Now, how are we gonna be progressively overloading with all of these shoulder exercises in our routine so that we can build some big shoulders? Number 1, we wanna be focusing as much as we can on first increasing the reps of the pike push-ups. Because I know that pike push-up for most people are very difficult to actually do, we wanna be focusing first on just trying to add a rep to a single set. If we can do that, we're making some gains. Trust me, going from 3 pike push-ups to being able to do 4 or 5 in a single set, you have just gotten way stronger and your shoulders are in the process of growing because they need to change. And then after we're able to sit in a rep range of about 10 to 12 reps with pike push-ups, we want to focus on elevated pike push-ups and add height to how high our feet are up so that we can lift more percentage of our body weight, which is basically the equivalent of adding more weight to the exercise, which is amazing. That's why calisthenics is so damn beautiful. And when it comes to the row variations that we do for our lateral delts and our rear delts, we want to focus on first adding reps to it. If you're able to do 6 to 8 slow reps of the upright row with the rings, then go ahead and just progress all the way towards being able to do 15 quality reps. But what should you do after? Well, the change that you should make after is put the rings lower so that more percentage of your body weight is going to be lifted. When you put the rings lower, your body is going to be literally flatter to the floor, which is going to be way more difficult to pull yourself up compared to standing a little bit more upright. So do that, make those changes, and trust me, your shoulders will grow drastically. So if you're tired of not seeing any muscle growth and you genuinely want to take this calisthenics journey serious and you want to go from skinny to jacked within about 6 months time with my personal help and with every single thing that you need for that journey, then go to the top link in the description, Jacked by Calisthenics. That's the investment that you should make. And I'll see you inside. I'll send you a message and we're going to get started right away. And as always, watch this video right here, because in this video, I'm going to be showing you how calisthenics athletes should actually train their arms to grow them.